This is the first Women to Women, and I'm so excited that you guys are here. So today it's about you as a woman. For me personally, growing up with three brothers, I felt as a tomboy, and I really didn't have that kind of girly things, growing up. Been married for many years and still didn't know what it means to be a woman. I'm happily divorced, by the way, for 4 years. And it was kind of bothering me. I didn't know what to do with all of this, my body, like everything. I didn't know what it means to be a woman. It kind of bothers me. 3 years ago, I did women's retreat where I finally understood about womanhood. I finally understood what it means to be a woman. First time in my life that I felt proud to be a woman and felt exquisite and divine as a human creator. Now let's hear from Women to Women has to say about you as a woman.
When you say woman, I view that term as a lot more expansive. I take a lot of pride in being a visibly queer woman. And to me, those two words are really together for me. So that I'm not just a woman, I'm a queer woman. And I like being visible in that queerness because that's an identity that feels very strong and resonates with me a lot.
I see myself as a soft, caring, compassionate, patient, almost all the qualities of a typical feminine woman. And I think I make a special effort to be extra assertive, and I have to think about am I being the right amount of equal here? Am I actually keeping the right qualities, toughness and strength and assertiveness as part of my identity? So naturally I'm kind of just this patient and kind, soft person, but I still try to be different from that too.
Wow, that's a really interesting question, because I don't know if I remember a time specifically where I thought of myself as a woman, so to speak. I do remember a time however, it was in college. I was an undergrad at Wellesley College, and I feel like that's when I started embracing that side of me. Not that I didn't know I was a woman before, I never felt like a woman before, whatever that would have meant for me. I came into feminism, in undergrad. I took this class my first year called African American Feminisms. And it was taught by Professor Judith Rollins. I would say it was my exposure, my entree to feminism.
As a woman in the world, I don't know that I've been asked that question in a long time. I think I take a lot of pride in the femme qualities that I see in both myself and in other women, and how that connects us to each other. As a woman, that connects me to the entire history of women that there's a lot of oppression in. But within that oppression, there's also a lot of power, and there is a lot of community that I think sometimes we've lost as women. I've been, again, very lucky in the communities that I've been in, that there's not this rivalry, this mean girl dynamic that happens with women. I think that has become a cultural trope almost of, women don't like each other, they're just catty to each other and are fake friends. And taking that and saying, no, we don't need that.
I'd say if you were to ask me this same question a few as 3 years ago, I would say probably more insecure, more timid. It's definitely changed, but I'd say nowadays now I see myself as a badass human, and I couldn't really say that even a few years ago. Just the experiences I've gone through, meeting Katy is a huge part of it. She definitely pulled that out of me. I've been running for 10 years now competitively. Well, actually within the last 2 years, I've really honed in on that. Part of that, I just feel very badass, like while I'm running, and the fact that I am a female running, like feeling my ponytail, like, you know, do this as I'm running. Yeah, I don't know, I like it. Someone who is bold and resilient and like worked hard for what they want, and I think that that's always been like this male quality that you know, go hard in your career, like really push yourself, bring home lots of money, like a go-getter, goal setting, all of these things. And I think that now women are starting to have that momentum that they can be that too, but I think I make an extra conscious effort of like, am I being the right balance of both like feminine and masculine, and am I being who I want to present to be, not just like who I naturally am because I'm a woman.
You know, I see it as you know, equity, you know, social, political, for marginalized, for all people, you know, with particular emphasis on marginalized people. You know, for me as a Black gay woman, that encompasses many groups. But that's what I see it. You're just looking at broader frameworks of injustice and centering the experiences and the voices of people in society that have historically been discriminated against, dehumanized, marginalized, that kind of thing.
I don't know how to say this, but even in the words that I use, the way that I talk, sometimes I will stop myself and be like, oh, I'm being really passive here, or I need to be more dominant in this situation, or oh, even like, you know, if I'm bringing my car into the shop, I don't want to sound like I'm that idiotic, like ignorant person who doesn't know anything about a car. So, you know, like I think that we're all, like as women, we kind of end up being like conscientious of where we actually stand and what value we hold, and like if we're being respected in that situation, because a long time, like not too long ago, we weren't respected as equals, you know, and we still kind of aren't in a lot of ways. I think that I'm always holding that in my mind in a lot of interactions throughout like my everyday, just because I am a woman.
As much as disappointed in the last election, I think it has brought to light that now more than ever, women are trying really hard to make a name for themselves in the world. So that's been cool to see, and I think I felt the energy from that for sure. I don't know. It's hard for me to, I guess, like define what I would say in terms of me being a woman. Because even like growing up, I was always a tomboy. I would always kind of disguise that I was a girl. I hated dolls, and now they scare the crap out of me, so I still don't like them.
So I care about equity, and I care about human rights, human and civil rights, for everyone. But I am unapologetically someone who is a feminist and who wants to elevate the lives and experiences of women. So that's where I'm coming from.
That as women, we can be connected to each other in these really powerful, sisterly, family ways and celebrate each other instead of tearing each other down. I think that's what being a woman really means to me, is being a part of that community with that history.
And that is